Alright, so now here I just have my 4.5-inch Ryobi angle grinder. I've got it set up at this point with a 40 grit flat disc. Used these before in the steel shop when I used to work there, and they do a pretty quick work of bolts and stuff, so that's what I decided to go with. They last a long time too, so that'll be handy. And now comes the fun part of grinding off some of these bolts so that I can get the seats out and then salvage some of the materials for scrap metal and whatnot. So here we go with the grinder. Start up here. Oh, power inverter. Need to turn that on. Need to turn this on. I start the bus up just as I am running directly off the battery, and I don't want to drain it and end up killing the battery. So oh, I think I just tripped out my inverter. That's not good. Pushing too hard. Tripped her out again. As you can see, it makes pretty short work of the bolts. I'm almost done already popping this one out, so this should go pretty quick. Of course, you could always cut them off along here and not have the rest of the seat to deal with, which would be the easier way to go, but I'm trying to salvage some of these brackets so that we can possibly use them for a kitchen set afterwards. Alright, so here we are. We have the first seat completely ground out and ready to be removed from the wall. Now, they do have bolts in here as well. There are bolts underneath the seat. Sometimes you have to take the cushion off by using the bracket there, and take that bracket off, and then you can pull the seat off so that you can turn those. You have a 1/2-inch wrench. They come off usually fairly easily, the ones under the seat anyways. The ones at the backs have a tendency of turning while you're trying to torque on the bottom, so sometimes you have to put a wrench on both sides. Again. cutoff disc, an actual cutoff disc, not a grinding cutoff, and I'm still gonna have to grind with the flat disc in order to get it off. Now, I know most people would just say, why not use a grinding disc? Grinding discs are all fine, and they do the job. They definitely do the job. They do it quite well. It's what they're made to do. I find a flat disc a little bit better just because they don't shrink. I find they have a longer lifespan, and yeah, the disc not getting any smaller as you're using it makes it a little handy, because then you're not getting closer and closer and tighter in these little spots that you're having problems to get into in the first place. Again, the importance of sizing your inverter for the job at hand. So here we are on the next day. I don't even know what day it is now. It's July 1st. I think this is day 3, maybe 4. Pulled a couple of the seats last night. Got some pallets in here. Hoping to use those for some salvage for something in here. And I pulled 4 seats from the passenger side. The problem with my power inverter was the cord was drawing too much power and kicking out my power overload. So I plugged in my inverter and plugged my grinder directly into my inverter here. Went as far forward as I could, which is all the way to the front. Did the 2 seats in the front and then up the side. And now I'm starting at the back as far back as I can reach. And again, the most important thing, always size your power inverter for the job at hand. Something I will definitely remember for the future.